Her fist hammered the hood of my Jeep, nails scraping against the paint as she screamed, "This belongs to my daughter now! She deserves it more than you ever will!" I stepped out onto the porch, coffee still in hand, watching as Karen waved her phone around like it was a weapon. "If you don't hand me those keys right now," she shrieked, "I'm calling the police and telling them you stole this vehicle." Before I could answer, she already had the phone to her ear, her voice carrying across the street. "Yes, officer, send a unit. There's a thief here. He's refusing to return stolen property. He's armed, dangerous." My stomach tightened at that last part. She wasn't just lying, she was setting me up. Neighbors peeked out from their windows, whispering. One man muttered, "She's gone too far this time." But Karen smirked like she'd already won, patting the hood like it was hers. "Say goodbye to your Jeep," she sneered. That's when I set my mug down, pulled out my phone, and hit a single contact. Karen leaned closer, mocking. "Oh, who are you gonna call? Your lawyer?" I didn't answer. A crisp voice on the other end picked up, and I just said one line loud enough for everyone to hear. "Hey, boss, looks like you'll want to be here when the police arrive." Karen's smile faltered. "Boss?" she stammered, and the voice replied, clear as day. "This is the state attorney. What's happening?" Karen's smirk collapsed, but she tried to recover, laughing too loud. "Nice try! Anyone can fake a phone call." She waved her hand dismissively, but her voice cracked at the edges. Neighbors were already recording, whispering, "Did he just say state attorney?" I put the phone on speaker. The line crackled, and the voice came sharp, commanding. "This is Attorney Davis. Who's making false police reports on my client's property?" Every porch light seemed to glow brighter as the words carried down the street. Karen froze, her hand still pressed against the Jeep, like she was trying to acclaim it by touch alone. "That's not real. You're lying. This is all some scam." But before she could continue, sirens wailed in the distance, growing louder with every second. The state attorney's voice stayed calm, steady. "Keep the line open. I'll be there in person, and make sure they know who called in this lie." Karen's face twisted in panic, but she still yelled for the cameras. "He stole this Jeep from my family! It belongs to my daughter, not him!" She didn't notice half the neighbors were filming not her, but the live call in my hand. And the attorney's voice cut through her rant with one chilling line. "Karen, I already pulled the title. That Jeep is his. You just made a very big mistake." The cruiser screeched up before Karen could spit out another excuse. Two officers stepped out, hands resting on their holsters. She bolted toward them like salvation had arrived, pointing at me with both arms flailing. "That's him! That's the thief! Arrest him right now before he runs!" One officer frowned, his eyes narrowing at the sight of my phone on speaker. "Is that Davis?" he asked. The attorney's voice came clear through the line. "Yes, officer. And I suggest you be very careful because I'm standing behind this man, and I'll be at that scene in 5 minutes. The officers stiffened immediately, their entire tone changing. One lowered his hand from his holster, the other glanced at Karen with suspicion. "Ma'am, we're going to need you to step aside." Karen blinked, stunned. What? No, he stole it. My daughter deserves that Jeep. It was supposed to be hers." She banged her palm on the hood again, her voice breaking. "You can't just let him keep it." The state attorney's voice was calm but sharp as steel. "That vehicle is legally his, and if you continue this performance, you won't just be explaining yourself to the HOA, you'll be explaining it in court." Karen's face went pale, but she still tried one last desperate scream. "The HOA is on my side." And that's when headlights cut across the street, the attorney's black SUV pulling up behind the cruisers.
The SUV door swung open and out stepped Attorney Davis himself, tailored suit, polished shoes, briefcase in hand. The entire street went silent except for Karen's panicked breathing. She tried to smile, her voice shrill. "Oh, thank God you're here. Finally, someone with authority. Arrest him. That Jeep belongs to my family, not his." Davis didn't even look at her. He walked straight to me, shook my hand firmly, and said, loud enough for every phone camera to catch, "Sorry for the trouble, sir. You shouldn't have to deal with this nonsense on your own property." The neighbors gasped. Karen's jaw nearly hit the pavement. "No, no, no," she stammered, eyes darting between us. "This can't be happening. You're supposed to be helping me." Davis finally turned to her, his expression ice cold. "Ma'am, you filed a false police report, attempted to commit fraud, and tried to claim ownership of a vehicle that doesn't belong to you. That's not help. That's a crime." The officers nodded, their posture shifting completely. One of them pulled out cuffs. Karen backed up, hands out. "Wait, no, you don't understand. This is all a mistake. My daughter needs that Jeep. It's her right." Davis didn't blink. "Your daughter doesn't have a right to steal from someone else, and you don't have the power to rewrite the law." The crowd murmured, phones capturing every second. Karen's hand shook as the cuffs clicked shut around her wrists. Karen thrashed in the officer's grip, her voice cracking into a scream. "You can't do this. I'm the HOA president. I make the rules here." The neighbors laughed, some outright cheering as phones zoomed in closer. Attorney Davis tilted his head, his voice calm but carrying like a hammer. "HOA rules don't outrank state law, and certainly not property rights." She tried again, desperation in every word. "My daughter deserves this Jeep. She's worked so hard." Davis cut her off, his eyes sharp. "Your daughter's future isn't built on theft and lies, and neither is yours." The deputy started walking her toward the cruiser, but she dug her heels into the gravel, shouting, "This isn't over. I'll sue him. I'll sue you. I'll sue the whole county." Davis didn't even raise his voice. He simply held up the folder he'd brought, thick with paperwork. "Funny, because I was already filing charges against you. Fraud, harassment, and false reports. The only court you're going to is the one you'll be answering in." The crowd erupted in applause, some neighbors chanting, "Justice! Justice!" Karen's face turned ghost white as the cruiser door slammed shut behind her. I finally exhaled, patting the Jeep's hood. Davis gave me a small nod. "You're good now. She won't be bothering you again, not with this much evidence." And for the first time, the neighborhood felt free of her grip.